Happy birthday, brother! But I mean, 26? I feel like you're still really waiting for the big 9500 tomorrow. Really makes you sound ancient. Appropriately. Just kidding, Jay, but I do want to talk about ancient things. Well, sort of ancient. Around long enough to be considered iconic or a landmark. Because you see in Roanoke we have these old advertisement signs that live on the rooftops of downtown buildings. One is a 10, 2, and 4 Dr. Pepper advertisement and the other is a local coffee sign. And Jay, I don't even need to ask if you know what I'm talking about because of course you do. They're Roanoke icons. I guarantee at a local gift shop somewhere they're probably on postcards you can send from Roanoke. Their presence in Roanoke is literally preserved by historic societies. Roanokers identify with them. They love the kind of historic flair it adds to the skyline. But not everything's historic. We do have some other amazing things in Roanoke, like a new modern art museum, an architectural feat, Roanoke's own Sydney Opera House, and people hate it. But here's my theory. In 30 years, people will love it the same way they do the beloved Dr. Pepper sign. I think in 30 years, people will have accepted its role in Roanoke's skyline and they will just look to it like any other major iconic feature of the area. So here's my first question. Why does it have to be here for so long before people are willing to identify with it? Like the advertisements I grew up with. I remember riding in mom's minivan as a kid, looking out the window and watching the H&C coffee sign pour cup after cup of neon coffee. Is that what it takes? Can it only become a landmark when the people who grew up with it and have only ever known Roanoke with that feature are the people controlling the perception of that feature? Because Roanoke has one last iconic skyline feature. A gigantic neon star that sits on top of a mountain that overlooks downtown Roanoke. You can literally see it from anywhere in the valley, and as soon as you pull off the interstate for Roanoke, you see it. And it's been there since I was a kid, but I love it. Everyone loves it, and we proudly identify as the Star City, and have been since it went up. People knew right away that they loved it, and still do. So here is my second question. Can something be great from the start, and maybe just has different periods of time required before it can be appreciated? Or do you think that once it's been around long enough to be considered iconic, that people actually put it on a pedestal? They don't like the Dr. Pepper sign so much as its historical significance in the area. New landmarks, is it like a rite of passage? You have to earn your role in the community's mind? I think why I find it most odd is because for it to be a landmark, it kind of has to stand out. And when it stands out, people tend to hate it because it changes how it used to be. But then after a long enough period of time, the mentality can literally shift in a polar opposite direction and people will begin to love it. So for my third question of the day, does your area or town or city have some type of iconic landmark? And how do you feel about it and what is your relationship to it? Leave your thoughts in the towel section down below, and Jay, that is everything that I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.